Good morning. This is T from T's channel, and this morning I'm gonna be making some tomatoes. Right in the blender, I got some tomatoes, and I'm gonna be blending um some 6 habanero peppers and 3 onions together with the tomatoes. And to make this particular stew, we're gonna be needing some shaki, some goat meat, some fish, some chicken, and some turkey. So I just want to get started with the tomato to get it blended and put it on the stove so it can steam while I get on the other the meat and fish to season it and steam it. But we'll get to that point. But for now, I'm just blending the tomato, and it has to be really smooth. So this is me blending the tomatoes. I don't want to bore you with all the noise, so I'm going to pause the video and show you the end result. So this is the end product of the tomato I blended, and I'm just going to let it reduce on the stove for about 45 to an hour. Then I'll get back to it and I'll show you the other process. But for now, I'm gonna go and start prepping my food meats. And this is the shaki. I'm gonna cut it into the sizes I want, and I got the goat meat still defrozen, and I'm gonna do the same with the fish, cut it, and I'll show you how I season it and all that. But let me not bore you with the cutting. Let me just go ahead and do that, and I'll come back and show you how I season it. So an hour later, this is what I have. The tomatoes is all cooked up, and that's how I want it. So I want the water to be gone, and I'm gonna fry it for the stew. And right here I have my chicken cooking. I seasoned it with onion, thyme, curry, Maggi, which is the seasoning cubes, and some ginger pepper, some garlic, and some ginger, and a little bit of pepper. And yeah, I got my goat meat going on. The same seasoning, because I'm gonna be using it for both the stew and the jollof rice. So after I finish this cooking it for a little bit, I'm gonna put it in the oven so it dries up. I don't like frying my meat. I like oven baked meat, so it's gonna look like fried meat, but it's gonna be cooked in the oven. And the broth from the goat meat is gonna go into the stew, and the broth from the chicken is gonna go into the jollof rice. I'll show you the end result later. And this is my chicken and beef. This is my chicken and beef. I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350 to dry up and bake for about 40 to 50 minutes, and it's gonna come out looking like fried chicken. And I'm gonna do the same to the goat meat and the I ended up adding some gizzard, chicken gizzard, so I'm going to do the same to chicken gizzard, the goat meat, and I also added beef hostel. So I'm going to do the same to all of them and put them in the oven for about 50 minutes to an hour, and I'm going to show you the end result. So to actually make the stew and sauce for the jollof rice, I'm going to use 24 grams of tomato paste. This is tomato paste, 24 ounce of this 24 ounce of Hunt's tomato paste. I have my seasoning, salt, I have curry powder, thyme, garlic, and ginger, and I have 1 full onion that I chopped. I have seasoning cubes, and that's gonna be it. And I have my oil here. This is canola oil, and I'm going to add about a cup of oil into the pot, and allow it to get hot a little bit, then I'll add my onion. And I'm gonna let the onion caramelize a little bit. So another 2 minutes, then I'll add my tomato paste. And the tomato paste is gonna take a long time to get to the consistency I want. I want it fried without any water in it. So once I add my tomato paste, I'm gonna pause the video, and once I'm done, I'll show you the consistency that I wanted it to be. And after that, I'm going to add my fresh tomato, onion, and habanero pepper that I initially parboiled. So it's time to add the tomato paste right now. And just to remind you, this is for both my jollof rice and my stew. So I'm making a lot of sauce, and whenever the sauce is ready, I'm going to divide it into 2 portions and use a part for my jollof rice, and the other portion I'm going to use for my stew. So this is it right now, and I'm going to show you the end result, the consistency which I want. So it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to get to that consistency. So I'm going to pause the video and come back later. So I marinated the fish with salt, pepper, seasoning cubes, and a little bit of ginger and garlic, and it's ready, and I'm going to fry it in the oil. So after frying it, I'm going to show you the end product. And the tomato sauce is still on the fire, and it's almost getting to the consistency I want, but it's not there yet. So I'm just still gonna keep frying it for now, and I'll show you the consistency later. So finally, this is the consistency that I want. So I'm gonna go ahead to add my other tomato that I steamed earlier. This is it. So after adding this, I'm gonna cook it again for about another 10 to 15 minutes until all the water in it dries up. And then once I'm done with that, I'll add my ingredients, my seasoning cubes, the thyme, the curry, and every other thing. And then I'll divide it into 2 portions. One is going to go for the stew, and the other one is going to go for my jollof rice. So I'm going to be making 5 cups of rice today. I already washed the rice with salt and some warm water, and the rice is right here. I just kept it so it softens up a little bit. I just soaked it in just warm water. I didn't parboil it, just soaked it with warm water, as in warm water from tap, not boiled water. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'll pause it and I'll get back to you later. And so my fish is fried, and this is the end result of the fish. I wanted them really dry because I have to put some of it in the fridge and use it to eat later. So this is the fish, and I still have my tomato sauce cooking. It's almost time to get it out and split it into 2 for the rice and for my stew. So just a couple of minutes, let's say 5 minutes or thereabout, I'm going to split it up and get it ready for the stew. But for right now, I'm going to go drain my rice out of the water and get it ready. And yeah, an hour later, yeah, it's my chicken and my turkey, all fried, all baked, looking as though I fried it, but I do fry it. And I still got my turkey and horse tail, goat meat, and my beef stripe are still in the oven. And that's my fried fish over there. So I divided my stock and my stew into two portions. The tomato I made, I divided into two portions, and I added my chicken stock here for the rice, and this one over here is gonna be for my stew. So I added my beef stock, so I'm just gonna add my meat, my fish, and every other thing. So it's on low heat right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the rice. Like I said, this rice is just washed. It's not parboiled, it's not pre-cooked, it's just washed. um, I'm going to add it, then cover it with foil and let it do its work. So it's going to get, and this is the stew, the end result of the stew. um, and my rice is still right here. I'm going to open it and see how far it's gone. This is the rice, and I only use the meat, the chicken and turkey stock, and I'm going to add a little bit of butter because I like butter in my rice. So I'm going to add a little bit of butter in there, and I'm going to add some minced fruit. But I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry up a little bit before I add the stuff. So what I'll do here is use my spoon and see. Oh wow, see how it is. So that's it. The foil helps it to cook, to get soft, like steam very well, so it can get soft. But I'm making it, I don't want it to be really soft, like it's just gonna have a little bit hard consistency.